No Rest for the Wicked has just had a massive update focusing on the Crucible, but also adds a large amount of other stuff. So let's go through the Crucible update and everything we can expect. So let's start with the Crucible itself. The Crucible is one of the endgame features in No Rest for the Wicked, and it's had a massive overhaul. The Crucible has received triple the amount of randomized rooms, introduced a new art theme, added a brand new vendor, and added a new gameplay system called Echoes. Echoes in No Rest for the Wicked can be picked up during your runs in the Crucible and allows players to gain various buffs and traits, such as dealing more damage, or maybe even adding elemental damage to your weapons. The Crucible is getting a heavy roguelite influence with randomized areas and enemies, and with this randomized echo system, this ensures that no two runs will ever be the same. All enemies inside the Crucible have been updated to drop a new currency called traces. These traces can be used to acquire echoes. The more traces you find, the more echoes you can afford. Next, there is a new mysterious vendor in the Crucible, and it's called, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing this right, the Crucible. This vendor takes another new currency dropped in the Crucible, Gloam Seed. The vendor sells things such as fallen embers, refined resources, and will be able to unlock new features in the Crucible with future updates. And another important thing that this new vendor will be able to do is exalting weapons. Exalted is a new upgrade. Weapons with an exalted status have greatly improved stats and improve the enchantments of the weapon. Weapons with an exalted status will greatly help players in the world of No Rest for the Wicked. Originally, the Crucible was not accessible until the end of the current early access campaign. The Crucible can now be accessed much earlier, after the quest Spoken and Unspoken, which is one of the first quests you get once reaching Sacrament. Developers have said this quest progression has been reset for all players, but this introduces the Crucible earlier and organically in the story. We also got a lot of content additions outside the Crucible. Next up, we have a new enemy faction called the Gloam. This new enemy faction has been greatly affected by the Pestilence and hides away deep in the dark caves of Isola Sacra. Being hidden away has also morphed them, giving off a corrupt glow. Next up, some regions such as the Black Trench and the Nameless Pass have also been extended with new areas, secrets, and opportunities to find other loot. Combat has also been enhanced with new effects such as freeze and shatter. Enemies can be frozen with spells, and then shattered for a quicker finish. There is also a new dismemberment system called Rip and Tear. Limbs can now be cut off during fights, which adds to the already thrilling combat system. And of course, probably the greatest addition in this update, stray animals. These can be found throughout the world, particularly in the main area of Sacrament, and yes, you can pet them. Rounding out the update is miscellaneous bugs and fixes and performance improvements, focusing on things such as smoother area transitions, memory optimization, and CPU performance. And the last big thing rounding out this update is Steam Deck verification. No Rest for the Wicked has always been playable from the beginning on Steam Deck, although in a bit of a shaky state, so it's good to see full Steam Deck verification. So this is definitely a big update, primarily focused on the Crucible and its surrounding systems. What do you think of this update? What do you think of the Crucible now? Let me know down below. Be sure to like if you enjoyed this video, and subscribe for more news on No Rest for the Wicked. You've been watching J-Dog Supreme.